All right, today we wanted to go over exactly kind of what you're going to see when you go to your release event and how we would potentially approach it. So I'm here with Charmer, and we're gonna kind of take you through the lens of Jinx and Lee Sin. We're up here in Toronto thanks to Invasion. They have provided us with all this product and stuff to kind of work with for now while we're up here. And yeah, let's just jump into it, Charmer. You've got the Jinx starter deck. Once you go to your release event, you'll get a starter deck, and you'll get a pack that comes with the starter deck, and a lot of the stores are going to provide you with like maybe one additional pack, maybe two. Probably you'll be somewhere between 1 and 3 packs to go with your starter deck to augment it before you start playing your games at a release. So yeah, Trevor, take me through what you're looking at with this Jinx deck and what you might be...
So have the Jinx deck laid out, and I laid it out in a way that has both the units in the top row and then your spells and gear on the bottom. And then I've also kind of arranged it by cost, lowest to highest, because whenever I'm looking to augment something, I want to pay attention to things like cost curve. Thankfully with these starter decks, or at least with mine, with the Jinx deck, you don't have to worry too much about the power curve. Your starter deck should be a 6 and 6 split on runes. So that is something to kind of keep in mind when you open your packs, is anything that's going to be really power intensive, you might want to take a second thought. But as far as what Jinx wants to do, this is a very aggressive starter deck. That's why you can see so many things in the 2, 3, and 4 cost point. If you're looking at Brazen Buccaneer and you see this 6, I put this in the 4 slot because 9 times out of 10 you're going to be paying 4 for it. That's kind of what the Jinx deck wants to do. It activates a bunch of her abilities, as well as when you play this, you discard a card, it costs 4 instead of 6. So that's why I'm putting it in the 4 slot. When I'm opening the packs, what I'm hoping to get as far as augmenting this is a little bit better of a top end. I love Rasa in Jinx decks, but the Magma Worm, while other friendly units enter ready, is very, very good when you're playing aggressively. That part is fine. The rest of it is kind of ho-hum. And then the other real big thing here is kind of like this slot. The Undercover Agent here, it's 5 with 1 power for a 5 might unit. And the Death Knell, while it can be useful in a Jinx deck of discard 2 and then draw 2, it's a little bit clunky because you have to play it. And then you have to, if you want to get the benefit, you also have to find a way to defeat your own unit. And sometimes that can be clunky because there are no kind of self-sacrifice effects in this deck. Other things that I would consider looking for is just better removal or combat tricks. This Fading Memories here is nice, and I like that they include it in a starter deck because it gives this deck a way to deal with gear. But in an actual competitive environment, if I get even just like more Void Seekers or better removal options, I would probably look to replace these, because the 4 and 1 power to just give something temporary is a bit clunky. Yes, you do have the ability to get rid of any unit, including like big massive ones, but it's a delayed effect. So when I open my packs, ultimately I'm looking for better top end units, and then probably a way to replace these Fading Memories as well. So yeah, that's where I'm.
And so for me, I've got Lee Sin here. My organization is not nearly as neat as Charmer's, but I kind of started to throw my kind of low early drops on this side here. And then I've got my spells kind of segmented here. I've got a couple of my bombs, the rares, the what I expect to be kind of the big power cards that I'll get in this deck down at the bottom. And as I look through, I see that I've got a pretty decent early game. And then the top end is where I'm a little also just kind of not super impressed with the Lee Sin deck. I see the Stormclaw Ursine, which I think is going to be hard to find space to play in a lot of these with as much early game has been given to each of these starter decks. And then same with the Mountain Drake. Without ramp, I mean, the Stormclaw Ursine has ramp, but it is a 7 cost before you even get to ramp. So that doesn't really help with playing a 9-drop. I think playing a 9-drop is going to be a little bit hard. So if I can find ways to make it so that I can play a little faster with this early game, use that control with these battlefields, the Monastery of Harana and the Godwillow Grove, to draw more cards and then just kind of swarm a little bit more and get more value out of spells. So even things like On Guard might be something that I'd be looking for. Really just looking for more lower to the ground, but also mid-range stuff. Like if I get some higher rarity cards, things like Kiana could be nice. Anything that's gonna work well with these middle top end pieces. The stuff that's closer to like the Bilgewater Bully, which I actually kind of like at 6, that kind of becomes a 7 with ganking, I think is quite good. I just don't want to be quite as high here. I like the mid-range elements that Lee Sin does, and being able to punctuate those with some spells to beef them up, I think is a little bit more exciting for me. And maybe 1 or 2 more low-cost cards to potentially cut some amount of Pocket Cub and Wild Claw Shaman. So we'll see what we get and how we can continue to improve these. But this is what you start with, and then you get a couple packs to go. So Charmer and I go ahead and open our packs, and we'll see what we get to improve our starter decks.
Is there an auto rule of like, if you get a sweet alternate art, you have to play it?
I think so. I think you do. So right out the gates, I'm looking at playable cards. So of course, green and orange. I've got a Rune Prison, so that's a spell that might be able to make the cut. Let's go ahead, and anything that can't be played, I'll just put off to the side. Another Pit Rookie. Well, I've already got 3 copies, so that's not going to come in.
I have Pouty Poro that could be useful.
Well, these are some beautiful pulls, but they are not going to be useful for this starter deck. We've got a Leona Convergent Mutation. Add there's the rares then. So I was only able to get 1 playable for my first pack. So this is something that you might run into at your release event. It's why it's nice that you've got the starter deck that is a full functioning deck. As you get your extra packs, you might not really find extra things you can play. So as of right now, this Rune Prison is my only option. And I got 1 more pack to go. I
got technically 3 that were available, but one of them just does not fit with the Jinx.
So what are your options?
Potential. Here I have a Pouty Poro and a Misfortune.
Yeah, okay.
I do really like the Misfortune as a potential replacement for one of these, or even just getting rid of a Fading Memory. So we're going to set these over here for now.
I think it works with this kind of style of deck. You're a little bit more aggressive, and if that allows you to pseudo-accelerate for some points in the mid to late game, I think that can be really, really potent. Especially with in conjunction with like a Fight or Flight, being able to push something off and then put your own unit there as a conquer. Let's see, pack 2, Clockwork Keeper. I was saying maybe some more early game could be nice. That would work for me. Mobilize, well,
so
ramp.
Legion Rearguard could be really good.
Confront, I like this. It's another trick.
Don't really have hidden cards, so I have an Ember Monk, but
it's a Sabotage and a Promising Future as the rares. So Sabotage is playable. Interesting. Okay, so this time I got 5 cards that I can play. So the second pack definitely went a bit better for me. None of them exactly fit the theme, but I could see myself go for this block, the Clockwork Keeper. I could see the rest of these spells potentially come in. The Mobilize is interesting because it's like, oh, maybe there's consideration to some of this top end, but I think it's just 1 copy of a ramp spell is not great, whereas this one of Sabotage potentially can come in handy, and I can try and play more to the low to the ground with the Confront as well. So maybe these 4 cards can potentially come in. 1 of Rune Prison is a consideration, so I've got 5 cards that can potentially come in to augment my deck.
So the second pack had a couple more. I'm just going back through just because I don't want to short the viewer, so I did want to go back to that first pack. So the card in the first pack that I said was technically playable but wasn't considering it was the Stealthy Pursuer. If I was playing somebody like Yasuo, for example, I'd consider it. Yes, you have the Fight or Flight for movement, but because it's just a unit from battlefield to base, if I'm in a position where this and another unit are chasing Chai back to my base, then I'm probably in a losing spot anyway. Similarly here we've got Ember Monk, which if I was playing somebody like Teemo, I would be very happy about. But here we just don't have the hidden cards to really make Ember Monk worth it. So those are technically playable, but I would not consider them for replacements, which means in that first pack, again, we had the Pouty Poro and we had the Misfortune. Second pack, I got a Legion Rearguard and a Dangerous Duo. The Duo is a little bit weird in Jinx just because a lot of times you'll have a low number of cards in hand. You are trying to discard a bunch to take advantage of your legend effect. However, it is also still better, in my opinion, than a Fading Memories, because this is more likely to be impactful. But the other three, I'm just a big fan of. Again, this is a very aggressive deck, and I think that you want to have as many low to the ground playable stuff as possible. The Legion Rearguard also, because it has Accelerate, I think is a pretty big deal as well. So yeah, I think what we're going to be doing here is replacing the Fading Memories, and then the, as I said before, the Undercover Agents for these four.
I think I just want slightly different early game, so I think we're gonna do a Pocket Cup out for the Clockwork Keeper. I think I want a Confront in, and I think I can take out a Wildclaw Shaman to potentially go for that, or I could take out maybe a higher cost card. I think I don't really want the 2 Mountain Drakes. Maybe a Confront for a Mountain Drake. Sabotage, potentially for one of the Stormclaw Ursine. And I think just doing a little bit more spell heavy, cutting the Ursines entirely, and doing the Rune Prison there as well. It's adding a bit of power cost, but because there's not that much power cost already in the deck, I think I feel pretty comfortable with that. I don't know that the block is something I actually really want to come in. It's an okay card, but not something I'm terribly excited about adding. So I think we'll put that off, and we'll go ahead and swap these sleeves out, and then Charmer and I are gonna play an example just match between these two, see if maybe some of these additions that we've been able to make will make any difference, and if not, it's really just kind of seeing how these starter decks interact with each other. All right, so now Charmer and I are gonna do some gameplay. Rolled to see who goes first. Charmer's gonna be going first. We've got Reaver's Row and Godwillows as our random battlefields. We're just gonna do a best of one here. I think at many of your local game stores, it will be best of one for the sake of time. If you happen to have best of three, that's great, that's a lot of fun. I'm sure you can sideboard anything you got from your packs. I think generally you'll see a lot of starter deck gameplay end up being best of one, so we'll just do that here. Lee Sin versus Jinx, and Charmer, you can start it up whenever. We've already done our mulligans.
A, B, C, D. So I'm gonna awaken, beginning,
wake me up,
channel. Hey, look, perfect.
Hey, wake
channel.
up. Save me.
We're gonna.
You ever hear the Goofy?
We're gonna start with a traveling merchant.
That's a great card.
It's a great card.
All right, cool. I will go. I get 3 runes to start. Draw a card. We'll just go ahead and play out a Pookie, and then Lee Sin to attach a buff to my Pit Rookie. And I'll say go.
All right, so we're gonna do the awaken, beginning, channel, draw. And then we're gonna do some stuff. I'd like to come here.
Yeah, that resolves. So when you move the Traveling Merchant, you're gonna discard 1 and then draw 1.
I would like to discard a Scrap Heap.
So you'll draw 2.
So I would like to draw 2. 1, 2. Electric Boogaloo.
I think Scrap Heap is so nice. This is like a constructed card, in my opinion, and I think it's really cool that Jinx gets to play it in the starter decks.
Yeah. This is also where we get to see some of the pack modifications come in.
Okay, let's see what you got.
We're gonna play Misfortune to an open battlefield.
That's pretty damn good in this spot.
Point.
Yeah, all right, I've got nothing for that. Up to 5 runes, draw a card.
Hoping you don't have a pump to deal with that Misfortune.
I might, you don't know.
I mean, you might, I'm just saying.
We'll start with just Pit Rookie here, which is gonna...
I would like to move this.
Yep, so Reaver's Row trigger on defend. You may move a friendly unit from here to base.
Now, when I move, I get to discard a card and draw a card. I would like to discard a Scrap Heap and draw 2 cards.
What the hell? All right, well, I will score 1 point And then I will tap 4 for a Wizened Elder.
Okay.
And then I will Lee Sin to give a buff to Wizened Elder. Wizened Elder says when I'm buffed, I have an additional +1. So this is a 6 now at home. But I will then pass the turn over to Charmer.
So we're going to do the Awaken. At beginning, I held, so I score a point, and I get to draw one.
Yep.
All I'm doing is drawing cards
There's
over
so
here.
many cards. Those scrap heaps went crazy.
Going to play my chosen champion here with Accelerate.
Seems good.
So I got to get rid of 2 of these, and I have to discard 2 cards. Sadly,
2 more scrap heaps.
I sadly don't have 2 more scrap heaps. That would be kind of insane. I do, however, have 1 Flame Chomper.
Okay.
Get rid of another Traveling Merchant. But this, once this goes away, we'll enter. And you know what? We're gonna
Put that one there.
Reinforce there. But this one here is just a 3.
Correct.
And I have Assault as well as this being a 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna have the Reaver's Trigger bring Pookie home.
Hold on. You've got 6, 9.
Yep.
I have 7. Yeah, so this would actually, we would have wanted to move that there. Which then would trigger again.
Yeah.
We'll get rid of the Pouty Poro, I guess.
All right. Over to
I
me.
wanted to at least make it like have you super commit to that somehow.
Yeah. We'll draw.
Thank Jinx. I'm never gonna get to use her legend ability because I have too many cards.
Way too many cards. Let's see. So I've got 7, which means I could Lee Sin centered. You've got 5.
So I have 9, and
9.
by my count, you had 9 as well. So that's why I was like,
2 for Confront. So units I play this turn enter ready.
that seems good.
Draw a card. I will pay 4 for another Wizened Elder. This one will come in ready.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll pay 1 for Lee Sin to buff that Wizened Elder. So now that's also at 6. And I think we'll just send 12 at the Godwell Grove.
Yeah, that is more than my 9. But I do have this one room. But Gust does not work.
Does not work on Wizened Elders.
Wizened Elder. So, I believe you're going to win this combat, and I'll obviously
Get rid of one of these
get rid of one of them.
elders. So I'll take that Grove. Hope you don't have a good way to take it back. And I'll let Jinx Demolitionist hold there, and I'll pass the turn.
All right, so we're gonna do the old Awaken, beginning, and draw. I wish your stuff wasn't so huge.
Yeah, it is the benefit. This is a very like mid-range Lee Sin deck, big stuff. The Wizened Elders are a card that's actually, I think, good enough to be played in constructed Lee Sin a lot of the time. It is
Yeah,
just
it makes sense.
5 for 6, but it can be played as a 4, and then eventually you just give it the extra +2 at a later time in the game. And it doesn't have a power cost, which I think is quite nice for something above rate, right?
I am gonna play a Brazen Buccaneer
Okay.
and discard this. I think Jinx is still fine there because I at least have the trigger.
Yep, she can always run away.
Right, so she can run away if needed, but also it would then force you to do something to get her off that spot. So I think that's all I'm going to do for my turn.
All right, start of my turn, we'll Awaken. And then beginning, I will score and draw from the Godwell Grove. Then we'll channel, and I'll draw for turn. What we're gonna need to do is I don't want to leave that Jinx available to do much else. So we'll just go ahead and challenge Elder on Jinx.
Well, that's not very nice.
Send that 6 into 4.
No way to have really played around that, unfortunately.
Then move the Pit Rookie onto Reaver's Row.
And I
will score that up to 4. I think we'll do 4, 5, 6. And we'll play a Bilgewater Bully. So the Bully, when it's buffed, it has ganking. And then we'll hide a card.
Hide?
At the God's Willow Grove. And it could be anything. It's this.
But it could be anything.
But it could be anything. I'll buff it. Put that on the Bully.
Yeah.
All right. I'll pass it over to you.
I will awaken. I have no points to score. No, still no Jinx. I'm almost to the point where I can start using my actual legend.
Have to discard a couple more cards and then you got there.
Send my 5 over here.
Go ahead and reverse trigger to retreat my Pit Rookie.
I will score and go up to 6. I will play a Chemtech Enforcer. When I play it, I have to discard 1, so I will discard this Merchant.
Yeah. Chemtech Enforcer's essentially a 2 for 4 aggressively.
There's
with that, what is it, Assault 2?
It is Assault 2, yes.
That's
very
a very efficient 2-drop. It does, I mean, it discards a card, but...
All right, so I currently have 10 cards in my trash.
Woo!
I would like to play a Rasa.
Okay.
And then I would like to play a Good Boy.
Oh, no, okay.
And return
your Jinx.
My Jinx to my hand.
Wait a minute. This is not good for me.
And then I will pass.
Yeah.
Be happy that I can actually use my legend next turn.
Okay. I will ready everything. I will score and draw for the God Willow. Channel. And draw for turn. All right. I will bully here. 7.
I will trigger the row.
Yeah. I'll score.
We are tied at 6.
Then I will move Hit Rookie to Reaver's Row. I guess we do 6. Play Lee Sin here. Makes that an 8. Other buffed friendly units at my battlefield have +2.
So that's 14 plus a hidden card, huh?
I will hide a card at Reaver's Row.
Stop. Hiding is cheating, sir.
I think...
I don't think I've drawn any of my...
That's going to have to be...
actual spells. It's been units and scrap heaps.
You can buff with Lee Sin. Put a buff here. And that's got to be it. Yeah, I'll just have to pass. And for your sake, this is what we've hidden.
All right. So we have Awaken. So I'm not scoring any points at the beginning, but you've used your legend a lot. I finally get to use my legend and draw a card.
Yeah, and then still get your draw for turn as well.
And then channel, and then draw.
Yeah. I gotta hold both to win here. Which is pretty tough. A lot of stuff you got going on. Yeah, I felt like I had so much control in the mid game, but you scored enough points early on that now it's like really scary with you having a big board. Yeah,
the Rasa turn was very well timed for me, because otherwise I don't think I even have a shot.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that makes a lot of sense.
So you have 10 on Reaver's Row. plus a hidden card.
10 there, and then another 15 over here.
But if that, like, if I were to send everything, right? So this is where my train of thought is. I could theoretically just try to ship everything. If I don't take it with that, like, even if it's an even trade, then that would almost force me to send the Jinx in that direction. I probably just lose outright because the bully with the ganking means that you can
try and score again.
Easily just score again. So it almost means that I'm required to go to the Reaver's row because of the issue with the ganking. So on the Reaver's row side, we have, what, 10 plus a hidden card?
Yeah.
And then we have 2 runes open as well. I think we're not in a great spot, but I think we're stuck. We have to send everything to Reaver's row. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna send everything to Reaver's row.
Okay, so this is 5, 8, 12, 18.
18. I don't think I have a choice.
So
between hidden card plus a potential buff.
Start with revealing a Stand United. Should attempt to buff a friendly unit. Can't actually buff one, but +1 to friendly units this turn that have buffs.
Right.
So now this is 8 and 4, so that's 12.
Yep.
And then we'll reveal Stand United to make
so 14.
14. And then I'll challenge using this Wizened Elder, which is a 10, into Rasa. Let's see what you got.
I have a dead Rasa.
Okay.
Is what I have.
So Wizened Elder fights Rasa. Wizened Elder now has 6 damage marked on it, but when this fight resolves, Wizened Elder would heal. So now we've got 14
to my 12.
Yeah, 14 to 12.
I mean, I'm gonna assign my damage.
Okay. All right, moving to damage.
Yeah.
All right, bully down. Wizened Elder will heal. These are still active for the turn.
And then that means I am forced to play this.
Yep.
With the accelerate. When you play me, discard 2, so it's got to be both the cards. Yeah, I still have not found any spells.
Yeah, 0 spells in there.
In the entire game. So I send 6.
Yeah, I will retreat. Because 6 does beat 5.
So I go to 7, and then unfortunately that's my turn.
All right. I will awaken.
I think I was okay if you had another buff, but the challenge was too much.
Oh, yeah. I think so.
You know, the power of spells.
Yeah. Draw for God Willow and draw for turn. And then, I mean, easy enough. You're tapped out. I got this here.
I'm not tapped out.
Oh, you're not tapped out.
I have no cards, though.
You're tapped out of cards. I'll move Lee Sin back. I've got a first mate, so I'll be able to
there you go.
ready that Lee Sin and send it all.
Yep, just needed
get that last point.
Needed that or anything that buffed, and I was done. But I just let's see if I would have.
Yeah, when's the next spell? There's the fighter flights.
There's the fighter.
Fighter flight would be nice.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, that's the power of the mid-range Lee Sin. It has a lot of want to be able to just play something, put a buff on it. And I think going second actually for this deck, it's very funny because usually going first is just like better. But I found this when I was testing with some competitive players with Lee Sin, was going second in Lee Sin often feels pretty okay because you want to play 2-drop and then buff it. And then you want to play 4-drop and then buff it. And it kind of like works out that way where you get to utilize the buff on curve pretty easily.
I will also say, granted, it was my location. However, I did not want to see Reaver's Row against Lee Sin.
Yeah, it felt like it wasn't entirely beneficial.
Of the choices in this matchup, I think this is the worst location by far. Obviously, Zoan, great for me. This would not have ever mattered for me because
no spells.
I never saw any spells the entire game, but the ability for you to continue to keep your units after that, you had buffed them and whatever, meant that it was hard for me to use my early game aggression to my benefit, right? So when you think about stuff like Chemtech Enforcer, for example, great on offense, not so great on defense, but if I'm also then stuck having to reuse him on offense to get rid of the same units over and over again, same thing with her.
Yeah, it's the funny thing where usually Accelerate is really good on Reavers, but when your Accelerate aren't actually being able to take, or not Accelerate, but Assault are not able to take the favorable trades, then it's less good. So it's nice that you can retreat them, but yeah, unless you're able to take the God Willow, they're not really getting that much value.
Yeah.
But that's good. So this is the example of the starter decks with the augmentations of just 2 booster packs to get a couple of extra cards in there. We did get to see some of those cards actually come into play in this game. I was able to play with a Confront that actually was really helpful for me in this game that I was able to pull out of a booster pack.
Was great. I think the Misfortune was
good.
Okay.
It was nice. It got you a draw off of God Willow early. It got you a little bit ahead. So I think it's nice to see those additional pickups, and I think it'll be all your spells in a row at the bottom of the deck. I think it'll be fun. I hope that you enjoy going to your release event, open a couple packs, play with the starter decks. I think the starter decks play pretty nicely overall. I'm pretty happy with them to at least learn the game and get involved. But if you enjoyed this video and want more, I guess, potential starter content, beginner content, please let us know in the comments down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure that you subscribe for plenty more Riftbound content coming soon. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.